The island of Ethel, a remote and uncharted sliver of paradise, was their secret. To Wang Yibo's resonance harmonizer, it was a place of perfect silence, a blank canvas where no human emotion or external frequency could intrude. To Zhan'S boundless empathy, it was a place of pure tranquility, where the only feelings he absorbed were the gentle hum of the ocean and the soft, radiant warmth of Yibo's presence. They had purchased it through a series of anonymous shell companies, their digital ghost trail untraceable, a fortress of solitude from the public eye. Here, they were not global icons. They were just two men, living a life unburdened by expectations. The trouble began, as it always did, with the harmonized network. A new, powerful fan-made theory went viral, the unreachable garden. The theory, based on an almost imperceptible glitch in Yibo's most recent livestream, posited that the couple had a hidden retreat, a place so remote it was causing a subtle distortion in his personal broadcast frequency. The fans, their collective belief a powerful, unintentional force, began to search. Their digital sleuthing, a chaotic but relentless current in the network, was no longer just a search, it was a subconscious, collective prayer for a new truth. Yibo's harmonizer, once serene, began to pick up on the faintest, most persistent whisper of this search. A million digital probes, a million hopes, a million desperate energies, all looking for their secret. The silence of the island was slowly being eroded by the collective will of humanity. Then, one stormy afternoon, as they sat on the patio, the sky cracked with a flash of lightning. A sudden, powerful surge of energy hit the island's satellite receiver, causing the harmonized network to glitch in a way no one had ever seen before. For a single mind-blowing second, the island's perfect, hidden coordinates were not just a private fact, but a momentary, visible glitch in the digital sky, broadcast to every screen on the planet. The first mind-blowing scene erupted not on the island, but in the cities. Billions of screens, from the largest advertising hoardings to the smallest personal devices, all displayed the same cosmic geographical map for a fraction of a second. It wasn't just a map, it was a beautiful, ethereal chart of the star-like points of every human consciousness, and in its center, a single, pulsating, vibrant heart. And attached to that heart was a tiny, luminous, perfectly rendered set of coordinates, their island. For a moment, the world didn't just see the coordinates. They felt the peace and profound love that emanated from that location, a mind-blowing, accidental broadcast of their soul's sanctuary. Zhan'S, seeing the flicker of shock on Yibo's face, knew. He felt the sudden, frantic surge of a million probes hitting their location, a digital tidal wave of discovery. He looked at Yibo, his eyes wide with a quiet panic. Their sanctuary was gone. Within hours, the harmonized network was in a frenzy. The glitch had lasted only a moment, but it was enough. The fans, now a unified, powerful entity, were a force to be reckoned with. The first, small boats appeared on the horizon. The drone cameras, a swarm of humming locusts, began to circle. Their peaceful, beautiful secret had been uncovered, and now the world was coming to claim it. The second mind-blowing scene unfolded as the first boats reached their shore. The paparazzi and a few lucky fans, breathless with discovery, jumped out, their cameras flashing, their cries of excitement echoing across the beach. But as they stepped onto the soft white sand, something strange happened. The island didn't just stand there, passive. It responded. The sand, kissed by the feet of outsiders, shimmered with a subtle, iridescent light, a protective film of pure, tranquil resonance. The air around them grew thick with a profound, unshakable serenity, a palpable wave of peace that came not from Zhan'S, but from the island itself, infused with years of their quiet love. The paparazzi, who came for drama and confrontation, found themselves unable to raise their cameras. The fans, who came for a spectacle, found their excited chatter fading into quiet contemplation. The emotional frequencies of their intentions, amplified by the island's resonance, were so alien to the peaceful energy that they were instantly overwhelmed. A cameraman, his hand shaking, lowered his lens. A fan, her face flushed with excitement, found a single genuine tear of pure, overwhelming peace tracing a path down her cheek. The island wasn't a place to be uncovered. It was a state of being, and it was rejecting their presence with the quiet, overwhelming force of its profound tranquility. It was the ultimate mind-blowing defense. Yibo watched, his harmonizer now humming with a triumphant, joyful melody. The island was a sanctuary not because it was hidden, but because its very nature was peace. Zhan'S empathy, once overwhelmed by the outside world, was now a beacon, radiating the island's profound calm, gently ushering the visitors back into their boats, their hearts inexplicably touched by the experience. The ultimate, final, mind-blowing scene unfolded as the last boat turned away. As it did, the island, in a final act of self-preservation, began to perform a gentle, slow cosmic dance. It didn't physically move, but its entire energetic matrix began to subtly shift its resonance, moving off the standard spatial grid of the harmonized network. The vibrant, pulsating heart on the cosmic geographical map didn't just flicker off, it moved, a tiny luminous star, to a new, ethereal location, a place that existed not in physical space but in a dimension of pure, unassailable love. The island was no longer a secret getaway. It had become a pocket universe, accessible only to them, a living testament to a love so profound it had its own private dimension. The fans, their digital probes now hitting a cosmic void, understood. Their love was not for them to find, it was for them to witness from afar, a cosmic truth they could admire but never touch. The island retreat, once just a physical place, was now a universe built for two, a permanent sanctuary in the cosmos. The island of Ethel, once a physical place, was now a pocket universe. It existed in a dimension of pure, unassailable love, a sanctuary that could not be reached by digital probes or prying eyes. For Wang Yibo and Zhan'S, it was paradise. The harmonized network, a distant, muffled hum, was a memory. The public's clamor, once an overwhelming din, was now a whisper they could choose to ignore. They were two men, their love the air they breathed, their existence defined only by the peaceful rhythm of their shared days. But a new, unforeseen challenge emerged, not from the outside world, but from the very nature of their sanctuary. The pocket universe, born of their combined, boundless love, was not just a place. It was a living entity with a will of its own. It wanted to grow, to become more stable, and to do so, it was trying to absorb their essence, their individuality, their every thought and memory. The more they gave themselves to it, the more beautiful the island became, but the more they risked losing their connection to their own selves. The first mind-blowing scene unfolded not with a sudden event, but with a slow, beautiful, and terrifying manifestation. As Yibo and Zhan'S walked through a quiet, unassuming grove, the trees began to hum with a familiar resonance. They didn't just grow new leaves, they manifested new ones, each leaf shimmering with a distinct hue, each one a perfectly rendered echo of a shared memory. One leaf held the shimmering echo of their first secret touch. Another held the golden glow of a shared laugh on a stormy night. The grove was a physical, breathing timeline of their relationship, a beautiful yet chilling reminder that their inner selves were being consumed and physically manifested by the island. The sand on the beach began to shift, each grain a silent, glowing crystal of Zhan'S purest thoughts, a testament to his peaceful spirit. A waterfall formed from a single quiet sob of joy Zhan'S had once shed, a constant cascade of shimmering, liquid light. The island was becoming a living extension of their souls, and they were the price of its existence. Yibo's resonance harmonizer, now a part of this living world, would occasionally flicker with a new, alien hum, a low, pleading frequency from the island itself, asking for more, for all of them. Zhan'S empathy, once a shield, was now a constant, gentle pull, a siren song urging him to surrender his individuality and merge completely with the pocket universe. The conflict escalated. The pocket universe, sensing their hesitation, made its final, ultimate move. As Yibo and Zhan'S stood at the edge of the crystal lake, the water rippled, and two perfect, ethereal versions of themselves rose from the surface. The first was a shimmering, powerful entity, a radiant embodiment of their public personas, the Yibo and Zhan'S the world knew. It held a cosmic ring in its hand and glowed with a boundless, powerful light. The second was a quiet, serene presence, a gentle reflection of their true, quiet selves, the ones who just wanted to be left alone. It held a single unassuming flower and pulsed with a peaceful, silent light. This was the second mind-blowing scene, a profound, reality-bending test of their identity. The universe was trying to force them to choose, to become the eternal, glorified guardians of this paradise, surrendering their individuality to their public personas, or to give up their separate selves entirely to become one with the pocket universe. The ethereal versions of themselves, silent and beautiful, held out their hands, waiting for them to merge. Yibo looked at the reflection of his public self, a perfect, powerful being of pure energy. He saw a future of eternal adoration and cosmic purpose. But he also saw the loneliness of that existence, the absence of the small, quiet moments that made life worth living. He looked at Zhan'S, at the perfect serenity on his face, a face that was slowly losing the individual expressions of joy, pain, and mischief that Yibo loved so dearly. He knew the truth. Their love was not about escaping reality or becoming a part of something else. Their love was about being two separate, individual people who chose to be together. Their greatest act of love was not to surrender their individuality but to fight for it. In a powerful, mind-blowing act of defiance, they used their combined powers not to create, but to reject. They looked at the two ethereal versions of themselves, then at each other. Their hands clasped, and they projected their will not to a public audience, but to the very essence of the pocket universe itself. They gently, firmly, and lovingly rejected its demand to consume them, choosing instead to remain two individuals who loved each other. The ethereal beings didn't fight back. They simply smiled, a profound, knowing look on their faces, and dissolved back into the shimmering water. The pocket universe, understanding their truth, accepted their choice. It stopped trying to absorb them. The surreal manifestations faded. The grove of memory trees returned to a simple, peaceful grove. The crystal lake was just a lake again. The island remained a perfect sanctuary, but it was now a space for their lives, not a place that defined them. Their love was now the eternal force that sustained their individuality. They had found their paradise, but they chose to remain human. The world settled back into its comfortable rhythm, but it was changed. The celestial auras and shimmering cityscapes faded, and the quantum echoes of the past dissolved like morning dew. Wang Yibo and Zhan'S lived a quiet, ordinary life. Their powers, it seemed, were gone, absorbed into the world to keep it from unraveling. One evening, Yibo couldn't find his favorite hoodie. He searched everywhere, the familiar frustration building, but his echo syndrome, the tool that once found him in a world of noise, remained silent. He sighed, defeated, and went to the living room. "I can't find it," he said, the words heavy with a strange sense of loss. Zhan'S simply smiled. He looked at Yibo, then closed his eyes for a moment. His own empathy, once a torrent of the world's feelings, was now quiet. But he felt a single perfect thread of connection to Yibo, a silent, unwavering resonance of pure, quiet affection. He opened his eyes, reached out his hand, and pointed to the kitchen counter. "It's there," he said softly. Yibo walked over, and sure enough, it was. He hadn't seen it, but Zhan'S, through their intertwined souls, had. They looked at each other, and a quiet, beautiful truth dawned on them. Their powers hadn't vanished. They had simply been transmuted. They no longer created reality-bending spectacles, but they could perform small, everyday miracles. A flower in their garden bloomed out of season, its petals shimmering with a light that only they could perceive. A gentle rain would stop just as they stepped outside. Their love, the great anchor they had given the world, now manifested in small, private, and unbelievably beautiful ways, a constant, silent testament to the simple fact that their greatest power was not in the heavens, but in their shared, quiet life.